The New Orleans Saints get the guy that everyone wants. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but we have this channel covering teams and stories that just get overlooked by the national media. I think the New Orleans Saints are a team that just kind of sitting there. They're in the NFC South, a division famous for producing winners in that division that kind of come out of nowhere. Saints feel primed for that. And one of the big reasons is because of this offseason, they get a guy that's perfect for what they need, and that's Clint Kubiak as the offensive coordinator. The Saints offense needed a change. And we'll get to the playmakers, we'll get to what is going on the offensive side of the ball. And to bring in a solid coordinator like Kubiak to get the most out of Derek Carr for the 2024 season. And here's what's interesting, and I think they say it perfectly in this paragraph. Carr was his same self in 23 that he's kind of always been. A lot of good, but unfortunately, plenty of bad with letdowns and mistakes in key moments and just not winning games that good quarterbacks can go out and find a way to win. That's really what the essence of the league is when you break it down to be really good on that high tier team. You need a quarterback that can go get a win late in the game and not just like, shoot, turnover, false start, weird things. No, go win the game. So Kubiak was the 49ers passing game coordinator last season and helped orchestrate one of the most efficient offenses in the league. Efficiency feels like what the Saints need most. So PFF is all over this. They're looking at the biggest hires, the biggest moves, each team, the best thing that they did all offseason. And I agree with this for a couple of reasons. Number one, efficiency is the name of the game right now. And that's what everyone's looking for. It's about efficiency in terms of what are you going to do offensively? Are you going to play ball control, kind of run the ball? You've got the running back to do that. Are you going to get a little bit more explosive? It kind of depends on the game plan. Are we going to take some chunk plays? You've got the players to do that. Olave. What are you going to do? But you have to be efficient. That means first downs, chunk plays when they're there. You can't go backwards or get stuck. And that's what happened to the Saints too often last year. Just be a quarter of didn't get a first down, that whole quarter. It's like, that's hard on the defense. You go a whole half without getting a first down or one first down or turnovers or go backwards. And it's just that stuff's really hard on the offense, obviously. It's hard on the defense as well when they're kind of getting out there and they got to stop the bleeding. And it's like it's 14-0. And we saw that with the Lions last year, that Lions game. It's just the Lions hang on to win that game against the Saints because they get out to such a big lead and it's just so hard to come back. So those are the things that offensively the Saints have to keep up, because you look at it, and this is what's pretty cool about this is the PFF comes out with a player profile on Chris Olave. And what's interesting, Olave is the real deal. Only a few wide receivers of the past decade have played better in their first two seasons than Olave. He's got a lot working in his favor except quarterback. And this is, again, coming from a fantasy perspective, which I like to do sometimes because it is interesting to see what the fantasy nerds see, because they're not usually wrong. They're not wrong. It's just looking at it differently. So he's got a lot working in his favor from a fantasy perspective, that he has less competition for touches and a coach that won't restrict his routes in the new offensive coordinator, but he still has Derek Carr at quarterback. Derek Carr, it's like it's time to go or it's time to go. Meaning, let's go, or you might find your way out of the league. I mean, really, that's kind of where it's at. And because the Saints will have to make a decision, like, we're gonna have to do something different because it's just not working. And so that's just kind of how it feels. So he has excelled. 87 PFF grade over the first two seasons. He's great in nearly every situation. That's what's really cool. He plays in almost every game. He goes out on, he plays 30 routes per game. He's getting targeted a quarter of the time. Everything you look at, every stat from, again, we're looking at a fantasy, but we're also looking at, and the reason I bring him up is because this is a playmaker on your team. You've got the running back, and Alvin Kamara. Get efficient on offense, and you've got it. That's why the hiring was so big, and this is what everyone's trying to do. Get your receiver open, chunk plays, boom. Run the ball, hold on to the ball, constantly be moving forward. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. And you've got the quarterback to do it. And you look at Chris Olave's production by situation. Again, this is on a rocky offense last year. Rocky man coverage, single coverage. Oh, I mean, it's just like everything. Is he double covered? Everything is really good. And it doesn't matter what the situation is. And it's crazy to see that. So again, there's going to be some good and bad because there's not really great receivers alongside him, but he's got Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill. I mean, they're there, but they're also a year beyond their prime. So I think that's right as well. So again, and by the way, let me know in the comments when I think of New Orleans Saints, man. Of course, Drew Brees, obviously, but like who are the players? Who's your favorite player? New Orleans Saints, not obvious one. So give me an one of your all-time favorite New Orleans Saints player, but it can't be an obvious one. Let me just look up here. Let me just look up one guy that I can't think of his name. Colston. Yeah. Was it Colston? Jimmy Graham? No, he sucks. Joe Horn was good. Dang. Will Smith was good. Reggie Bush, of course, was there. I was trying to think of the guy that I liked. Cam Jordan's almost an obvious one at this point that you almost can't say. He's so good. But let me know in the comments, like you can't say Drew Brees. A little sneaky one. That was your favorite player. Let me know in the comments. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I think the Saints are in a great spot. I really do because, again, we all know it doesn't matter who you have on offense, defense. It doesn't matter if your quarterback stinks. Then that's it's just what it is. But assuming Derek Carr is efficient, things are going better, he can figure things out. Just assume that, then the Saints are in a good spot. They just are. You got Olave, you've got some talent on the offensive side of the ball. Defense is going to keep you in games. Then I just don't see how they're just terrible if Derek Carr can be solid. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you subscribe if you've watched a few videos by now. We cover all kinds of teams, especially the teams that are kind of under the radar. Like we don't cover the Jets. I feel like they get enough attention. The Packers get enough of the Bears. Who cares? It's these teams, because we're Lions fans and we kind of know what that's all about. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.